Assalamu alaikum, you're watching Trending Daily and I'm your host Makhdoom Shahabuddin. Today we are talking about a story that should shake the conscience of anyone who still believes in democracy. A story that is not about bombs, bullets or tanks, but about pens, forms and silent deletions. A story that exposes how a state can erase an entire community from the democratic process without firing a single shot. In the Indian city of Surat in Gujarat, hundreds of Muslim families are discovering something terrifying. Their names are disappearing from electoral rolls. Living, breathing citizens are being officially declared dead on paper. Men who go to work every morning, women who run households, young people who were preparing to vote for the first time, all suddenly find that according to government records, they no longer exist. This is not a clerical error. This is not an isolated mistake. This is being described by residents, activists, and opposition leaders as a deliberate, organized attempt to suppress Muslim voters ahead of elections. The area at the center of this controversy is Salbatpura, a Muslim majority neighborhood in Surat. People there say that without warning, without verification, and without any notice, their names were removed using a document called Form 7. Form 7 is supposed to be used for legitimate corrections in voter lists, such as when a person has died, permanently shifted, or is registered twice. But in Surat, Form 7 is being turned into a weapon. Residents say someone filed Form 7 applications against them, falsely claiming they were dead or had moved away. Many discovered the truth only when they went to check their voter status. Imagine the shock of seeing your own name marked as deceased while you are standing alive in front of the screen. Families say multiple members were targeted at once. In some houses, parents, children, and even elderly grandparents were all shown as ineligible to vote. Entire households wiped off from the rolls in one stroke. People in the community are not buying the government's explanation that this is part of routine voter list cleanup. They believe this is political engineering. They believe this is targeted. Why targeted? Because Muslims in these areas traditionally do not vote for the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party BJP. Reducing Muslim voter numbers automatically benefits the BJP electorally. Fewer Muslim voters mean easier victories in closely contested constituencies. Opposition leaders in India are calling this scientific rigging. They say instead of tampering with electoral voting machines, the ruling party is tampering with the voter list itself. You don't change the vote. You change who is allowed to vote. Reports from February 2026 show similar patterns not only in Surat but also in parts of Anand district and other minority concentrated areas of Gujarat. In village after village, Muslim residents discovered that Form 7 applications had been submitted in bulk against them. People allege that local BJP leaders and corporates are involved. They claim party workers and booth level agents went door to door collecting data and then filed deletion forms without consent. In some cases, people say they were tricked into signing blank papers or told the forms were for government welfare schemes, only to later discover those signatures were used to remove their names from voter rolls. According to election rules, whenever a Form 7 is submitted, a booth level officer is supposed to physically visit the voter's home and verify the claim. But residents say in most cases no one ever came. No verification, no phone call, no notice, just deletion. This raises a serious question. If procedures were followed, how could so many living people be declared dead? And if procedures were not followed, who ordered officials to ignore them? The silence of authorities is making things worse. Despite formal complaints, there have been no high-profile arrests, no strong statements, no visible action against those accused of filing fake forms. For the affected community, this silence feels like protection for the perpetrators. Muslims in Surat say they feel abandoned violated by the very institutions that are supposed to protect their rights. The Election Commission, the police, and the local administration are all seen as either powerless or unwilling to intervene. For many Muslims, this controversy connects directly to the larger fear created by the Citizenship Amendment Act and the proposed National Register of Citizens. For years, Indian Muslims have worried that their citizenship itself could be questioned. Now their voting rights are being quietly taken away. To them, this looks like a step-by-step process. First, erase their names from voter lists. Then, label them doubtful citizens. Then, push them further to the margins. This is not just about elections. It is about belonging. In theory, people can challenge deletions and ask for their names to be restored. But in practice, the process is exhausting. It requires documents, multiple visits to government offices, legal knowledge, and time. Poor and working class families struggle to navigate this maze. Many fear they will not be able to complete the process before elections, effectively losing their right to vote. The law pretends to offer a remedy, but the system makes it so difficult that most victims give up. The psychological impact is also severe. Being told by your own government that you do not exist damages a person's sense of identity. It creates humiliation, anger, and hopelessness. It tells an entire community that their presence is unwanted. From Pakistan, we are watching these developments closely. India often presents itself internationally as a model democracy and lectures others on human rights. But stories like this expose a very different reality on the ground. For years, Pakistan has raised concerns about the treatment of minorities in India, especially the Muslims. We have seen lynchings over beef allegations. We have seen mosques demolished. We have seen Muslim homes bulldozed. We have seen hijab bans. And now we are seeing something even more dangerous: the quiet erasure of political rights of the Muslims. This is what makes the Surat case so alarming. It is silent, it is technical, it is hidden behind bureaucratic language, but its impact is devastating. Democracy does not die only through coups or dictatorships. Sometimes democracy dies slowly through paperwork. If a state can decide which citizens get to vote and which do not, then elections become meaningless. They become a ritual, not a reflection of the people's will. The anger in Salbatpura is growing. Residents are organizing protests. They are demanding restoration of their names. They are demanding investigations into those who filed fake Form 7s. They are demanding accountability. Their message is simple: we are citizens, we are alive, and we have the right to vote. This issue is bigger than one city. It is bigger than one state. It speaks to the future of India's democracy and to the safety of minority rights in the region. Because if Muslim votes can be raised today, whose votes will be raised tomorrow? History shows us that when a state starts targeting one community, it rarely stops there. For Pakistan and for the wider Muslim world, this story is a reminder that the struggle for justice and equality continues. It also exposes the hypocrisy of those who accuse others of oppression while practicing it at home. The world must pay attention. International human rights organizations must investigate. Independent observers must demand transparency. Silence only empowers those who abuse power. The people of Surat are not asking for favors. They are asking for their constitutional rights. And in any true democracy, asking for the right to vote should never be controversial. This is not just a voter roll issue. This is an assault on citizenship. This is an assault on equality. This is an assault on democracy itself. I'm Makhdoom Shahabuddin and you're watching Trending Daily. Allah Hafiz.